morning children, I hope you all are well. So today we will continue chapter 5. We were studying the HTML components. So here we will see the definitions of it. So as mentioned earlier, that HTML technology consists of various technologies, that is HTML, JavaScript, CSS and DOM. Okay, so first of all, HTML you are very much familiar. It is markup language. It is used to create web pages, and we can see these web pages in web browsers. Okay, so HTML marks the content up into different structural types. Okay, there are some tags, markups that we are using in it. Okay, and different structural type is there, like paragraphs, blocks, list, images, tables, forms, comments, etc. Okay, so this you have already learned. CSS, short for cascading style sheets. So it is stored set of design principles that tells how to format and display the elements on the web page. Okay, so you know very well we are using elements in HTML. Okay, various tags in HTML document. So this CSS file will contain the designing part. Okay, that how we can format and display those tags. So it tells the browser how each type of element should be displayed. Okay, there we can put design related code, CSS, of each and every element that we are using in our web page. So which may vary for different media like screen, print or handheld devices. So CSS is going to be explained in details little later in this chapter. Okay, let's discuss some theory and then we will be studying about CSS. So next is JavaScript. JavaScript, I've already explained you, it is popular scripting language. We can embed it into the web page itself. Okay, it is written there in the head section, in head tag inside HTML document. So it includes dynamic features to control, access and manipulate HTML elements. Okay, it includes dynamic features. Dynamically we can simply add some features to the controls that we are using. Controls means form controls. We have studied input type text boxes, check boxes, radio buttons, select boxes and all. Okay, so there we can add features. Okay, dynamic features, and access and manipulate. We can access, we can even change HTML elements over there. It tells the browsers how to change the web page in response to events that happen. Okay, like any event is happening and what to do after that. Like if we are clicking, like if we are clicking the button, then before clicking the button, JavaScript should check that all the fields are completely filled or not. Or changing the value in the form input. If you are changing value in the form input, like you can see, if you are using filling details of bank account number, then always it is asked twice. Okay, and what happens, like if once we have written the account number and then in the similarly again we have to write it into the another text box, then if we are writing wrong account number, then it will automatically gives us the message that the account number is not matching. Okay, or otherwise when you are filling the password, you are giving a new password to your account, at that time it will tell you that please choose a strong password. Your password is not so strong, or put this etc in your password. So the coverage of JavaScript is beyond the scope of the book. Okay, that is not actually in your syllabus. Now DOM, document object model. This will be a standard object model for HTML. Okay, then DOM defines the HTML element, mean tags, as hierarchical model of objects along with properties and methods of HTML elements. Okay, so here I will explain this with the help of example that is on the next slide. Now what is the role of each component in HTML? With HTML elements we can write the base structure of a web page. Okay, we can give a basic structure with the help of HTML. With CSS we can change the style of any HTML element like paragraph design or body tag design or any other list design, table design, etc. Then with DOM we can have a map on every element in the HTML page so that we are not making mistake in closing or opening the document. Okay, on the tags. with JavaScript we can access and have operations on the elements in the DOM tree. Okay, whatever elements we are using in HTML, with JavaScript we can simply have access and have operations on it, and then we can have a customized information. Okay, the information will be according to our need. So here you can see the example of document object model. This you are familiar. This is HTML document, and this same HTML document can be represented as DOM. Okay, you can see this is hierarchical structure. The outermost tag will be always displayed at the document root, which is known as root element. Okay, outermost element is known as root element. So HTML comes the first, then after that its child nodes are head tag and body tag. You can see, you know very well, inside HTML tag there are two tags, head tags and body tag. Okay, so this is head tag and body tag. Now other tags comes in these tags. Okay, so in head tag we have studied about only title tag till now. So the title tag comes in head tag. You can see this is element actually. Then element P or P tag and H1 tag, then list tag, UL tag, then after that ordered list and table tag and anchor tag. All those tags used to come in body tags. Okay, all other tags apart from title tag we can use inside body tag. So the text node, you can see, after inside title tag you have to put some title, then inside paragraph you will write some paragraph. Okay, and here in H1 you will write some heading. Okay, so this is actually the document object model tree for the web page shown here. Okay, now what is CSS? Cascading style sheet. In late 90s, HTML coders noticed that they were retyping the same old tags again and again at the same page, leading to bigger HTML files and above all time consumption and frustration. Okay, once you have created the HTML page, you might have seen that when you are creating another page or you are simply adding some more content to your web page, the file will become very big. Okay, and it will be very time consuming also. Like if we have to change something, if we have to find out error or any change, minor mistake is there or something is there, then it will be time consuming, and even it also create frustration sometime. For example, for a page having 15 headings, 3 tags. Okay, 15 heading and 3 tags, that means H3. Okay, 15 H3 tags are there and all having same font, size and style. Got it? Then what we should do? We should add all these styles on every 15 headings, or it is better to put it in CSS file. There we have to write only once, and the same style we can use everywhere in all H3 headings. So this information, that is their font size and style attributes, has to be written 15 times each time when H3 tag was being used. So you may have found yourself in the similar situation, adding in mountains of font tags. Got it? You might have seen, like if you are I know you have not created a big HTML page, but some of the students have created. So in that, if you are using same heading again and again, then you have to use its design also. The same design you have to use everywhere. Okay, so it becomes very lengthy and time consuming. Okay, so now what we can do, then someone had a great idea, have one file that defines all the attribute values for the tags, and then have all your pages checking this file and formatting your pages accordingly. Okay, you can therefore leave out most of the formatting tags in HTML and use only nice structural elements like headings, paragraphs and links, separating structure and presentation. Got it? So what I want to tell you is that there will be a notepad file. There you will write CSS of every element, like H3, then color equals to blue. Then what will happen? All H3, 15 H3 elements will be having blue color, will be in blue color automatically. Got it? Once you have to write H3 color blue in CSS file. Got it? And then you save it with the name, give the name to the like sample.css. okay, so here the extension of css file will be .css. So here we can put designs for headings, paragraph, links, body tag, etc. It will separate the structure and the presentation, and this separate file is nothing but the style sheet. What it is known as, that CSS file is known as style sheet. Okay, so style sheet basically are the formatting guidelines that define the overall look of a document. Got it? Overall look means design will be completely, we can keep it in style sheet. Okay, so that we can simply separate the design from the presentation. Okay, so a style sheet is a file containing formatting guidelines that define overall look of the document. So CSS is an acronym of cascading style sheets, which is a programming specification markup languages used for web development. There will be a programming specification, okay, with all the markups, means the tags that we are using in HTML. Okay, so the CSS uses rules called styles. Got it? CSS is using a rule called styles to determine visual look of the content of the web page. Okay, so it will simply focus on the visual look, that how our page is looking. So CSS can set colors, we can set color here, we can also set the font means the style of the text, then background also we can set, like background images, background color, then border we can set, margins, and even the placement of the element on a web page. Okay, like if we have to put an element also, we can put with the help of CSS file. So most modern browsers support CSS3 implementation. So here a simple example is given. See, there is a H1 heading, font size we can put for 20 point, font style italic, text align center, and color is this. This is hexadecimal value followed by hash. This is simple basic structure you can see. Now you can see how we can link, where we have to link the document. The code will be there in head tag. Okay, it can be below title tag or above title tag. That means you have to link the file in head tag. Okay, so you have to write link. REL means relation is a style sheet. Type is text CSS. Okay, the same exact line you have to write. The file name can be different, it can be according to your choice. Okay, but you have to follow the syntax. So href, that means the file, the CSS file. Then style sheet 1.css. Here this file, this is the notepad file, and this file is saved with style sheet 1. Okay, .css, and then we will save this document. This document is containing only one heading. Okay, so we can copy it as many times as possible. Okay, wherever you are using H1 tag, the same style will be followed automatically. Got it? We don't have to write here font color, then font size or italic or anything here there inside the head tag. Okay, then when we will save the document, we will be able to see this in the web browser. This is the output of the HTML document. Now let's see what is cascading. The cascading style sheet refers to a specific manner in which the web browsers determine which styles to apply a specific part of the page. That means, okay, you have seen in web pages there are so many paths. Okay, so that means different types of tags. Okay, so it also determines that which specific part we have to design. So this method is called cascade, and when combined with style sheet, the resultant name is cascading style sheet. So in the cascade, the items having higher priority affect other properties with lower priority, with values cascading down like a waterfall. Okay, here in the cascade what will happen? There are some tags which are with higher priority. Okay, then it will affect the other properties, other tags design with lower priority. Got it? Like if there is a p tag then inside that there again a heading, and then again a paragraph. Okay, so this way it will actually, the higher priority will affect the property of the tag which is inside it. Okay, so with the values cascading down like a waterfall. So only students, this much for today. Thank you, have a nice day.